This week, Nintendo is doing something neat. They're releasing Versus Super Mario Bros. Onto the Switch's eShop. For those unfamiliar, this is the arcade version of the well-known classic. It was developed after the NES original and has undergone several changes. Playing it feels very familiar, but at several points, things aren't exactly the same as you remember, while other secrets are intact. And many item blocks have been changed. Whole stages have been added, rearranged, or removed. These changes serve to increase the game's overall difficulty. The eShop version is $7.99. I feel like that's a little bit expensive, but it isn't the most I've spent on this game. I think most video game collectors wish to own at least one arcade game, and lucky for me, I've been able to fulfill this wish. This is a Nintendo Versus Dual System. I was able to purchase it in the mid-90s from my local arcade. As you can see, it has two different games built into one upright unit. On the left is Versus Mach Rider. I'm not a big fan of the gameplay here, but as one of the early Nintendo games that Iwata-san worked directly on, I'm glad to have it. But the big showcase is here on the right. Playing Super Mario Bros. Using a joystick instead of a control pad takes some getting used to. There's just something about playing on arcade hardware. The flicker and hum of the marquee fluorescent lamp. The squeaks and tactile feedback of the buttons. It's so nostalgic, especially for someone my age. It's embarrassing to admit that in the nearly 20 years that I've owned this game, I still haven't beaten it. Back when I bought it, I got as far as World 7-4. That is a dungeon maze level. This pattern is different from the home version, of course, and I never figured it out. Back then, the internet was in its infancy, so there wasn't any information on this game available to help me. I even reached out to a play counselor on Nintendo's old website, but no one could help. Then, in the many apartments I've had over the years, I've often had to store it, so it hasn't always been accessible to me. Even now, it's relegated to a corner of my garage. Of course, the internet is a much different place now, so I'm considering live streaming beating this game to my YouTube or Twitch channel. Here's another interesting item I wanted to show you. This case would contain the chips or PCB for the arcade owner to swap games in their machine. I got this one with my game and it's full of interesting things. I have service documents and machine and PCB schematics. It also includes documents for Versus Baseball, which apparently used to be installed. But most interesting to me are these Mario items. This is the dip switch chart showing the game options that can be changed. And this is Nintendo's recommended settings. If we compare the charts, we can see that they recommend 1 credit per coin, 3 lives to start, slow timer speed, 4 lives per continue, and if we back up to here, we can see that Nintendo is recommending 1 extra life per 200 coins. Amazing! You might have noticed that the coin counter goes to 3 digits. Well, this is why. Using this information, we can finally ascribe a definitive real-world value to the Mushroom Kingdom's coins. No need to estimate the actual size, weight, or composition of this currency. No mere theory, this will be a game fact. 1 continue costs 1 coin, or $0.25. That continue earns you 4 lives, meaning 1 individual life costs you 1/4 of a quarter, or $0.0625 of a dollar. Per Nintendo's recommendation, it takes 200 Mushroom Kingdom coins to gain 1 of these lives. That puts the value per coin at $0.0625 over 200, or $0.0003125 cents. At that rate, even when you hit a 10-coin block, you only net around 1/3 of a cent. As a matter of fact, you would need to collect 32 coins just to equal 1 American penny. No wonder there are coins randomly strewn everywhere. They're worth next to nothing. Come to think of it, I guess the Mushroom Kingdom's economy is really unstable, because now a death only costs 10 coins. Hey, I just wanted to take a second to give a sincere thank you for being a part of my life. If you want to continue joining me on any of my future video adventures, just please click the big button in the middle. Have a nice day.